Welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, a channel dedicated to timeless principles for a fulfilling life. Hey folks, welcome back. Today, we're diving into a topic that seems perpetually relevant: conflict and war. In recent times, we've witnessed events around the globe filled with devastation, loss, and destruction. Nations have been torn apart, and individuals have suffered immensely, with such events continuing to unfold even now. For today's discussion, my goal isn't to point fingers or assign blame. It's not about getting caught up in the endless cycle of justifications and counter-justifications where everyone claims they're in the right. Let's be honest, that approach rarely leads to a productive resolution. Instead, let's explore the deeper question of why war and conflict are inherently detrimental to humanity's well-being and what wisdom the Buddha offered on the subject. If you like this channel and find it helpful, please subscribe. It helps me reach more viewers. The Buddha's teachings offer a profound perspective on the nature of conflict. He stated, and listen closely because this is a gem of wisdom: victory breeds hatred, the defeated live in pain. Happily the peaceful live, giving up victory and defeat. Think about the implications of those words. When we strive to win over someone, be it in a personal argument or on a global scale, the very act of winning creates animosity. The person or nation that is defeated will naturally harbor resentment. They will likely carry the weight of that defeat, fostering a cycle of pain and bitterness. This highlights the core problem: when we prioritize winning at all costs, we inevitably sow the seeds of hate and inflict suffering. Wouldn't it be better to rise above that cycle and cultivate genuine understanding and peace? Before you go further, if you find this channel helpful, please subscribe. So, what's the alternative? The Buddha advocated for transcending the binary of victory and defeat. He emphasized inward focus, working on ourselves and conquering our own internal struggles. This means directing our energy towards taming our ego and getting rid of those destructive thoughts that cloud our judgment and fuel conflicts. The essence of his teaching is this: it's more worthwhile than winning 1,000 battles or conquering countless lands, to win yourself, conquer yourself, and defeat your ego and the unwholesome thoughts within your mind. Now, isn't that a thought-provoking idea? By focusing on personal growth and self-mastery, we not only avoid harming others, but we also eliminate the root causes of conflict. If you are enjoying what I am saying, please subscribe. The world often tries to solve problems through aggression, violence, and the infliction of pain. However, such methods are inherently flawed. There is no real problem ever truly resolved through anger, pain, or warfare. If you look at history, it's filled with countless wars. Yet, have any of these conflicts ultimately led to lasting peace or genuinely resolved the underlying issues? The Buddha taught that hatred is never appeased by hatred, hatred is appeased by love. You cannot end wars through more wars. The only path to lasting resolution lies in forgiveness, letting go, and choosing not to engage in the cycle of animosity. This is not always the easy path, but it is the path that ultimately leads to peace. It might seem a little difficult to understand, but take a moment and think about this for a minute. Therefore, if we genuinely seek to resolve global issues rooted in hate, we must embrace forgiveness and release our attachment to retribution. Forgiveness is a critical component that gives us peace. There will be points in your life where you'll need to forgive. According to the Buddha, this is the ultimate law. So, let's collectively send our well wishes to those suffering from conflict and anger. May they find lasting peace and happiness. Namo Buddhaya. Now, let me share another thought. Now, in the time of the Buddha, there was a monk named Wakali who was a bit of a visual learner. He visited the Buddha repeatedly, but instead of focusing on the teachings, he would spend his time simply gazing at the Buddha's face. While the Buddha was delivering sermons, Wakali was only focused on admiring his appearance. Eventually, the Buddha noticed Wakali's behavior and asked, "Wakali, what are you doing?" The monk replied, "Oh, sir, I find peace and happiness in looking at your beautiful and serene face." The Buddha then responded, "Wakali, what is the purpose of looking at a decaying body? If you want to truly see the Buddha, you must see me through my teachings. The one who sees Dharma, sees the real Buddha. This powerful piece of advice highlights that if we want to truly connect with the wisdom and essence of the Buddha, we must engage with his teachings and apply them to our lives. Now what does he mean? You must embody those qualities: kindness, compassion, generosity, and patience. If you find this teaching helpful, please subscribe. I'll wait. When we put these teachings into practice and integrate the Buddha's wisdom into our daily actions, we begin to understand the true essence of the Buddha. A significant emphasis is placed on practice. Each teaching encourages us to apply it to our practical lives and see how it can be integrated into our daily routines. In Buddhism, every teaching, practice, and piece of advice is applicable to our real-world experiences. When the Buddha speaks about love and kindness, he doesn't just offer a concept, but also shows us exactly how to cultivate it, even in times of difficulty. Similarly, when he speaks of compassion, he shows us how to incorporate it into our daily interactions. Before continuing, please subscribe if you like the content on this channel. So, how can one see the real Buddha? You must see it from yourself. Now, for example, if you look at a picture of your mother and father, you know who they are based on their qualities and the love they have given you over the years. So, to identify the Buddha, it is necessary to see the Buddha through the teachings of practicing through the teachings in our daily lives. Therefore, if we want to see the real Buddha, we must actively practice his teachings. May you keep this in mind as you live your lives, and I wish you well. Namo Buddhaya. Next, what must we do to stop a war? As we know, there are a lot of wars going on today, killing and destroying a lot of lives and properties. Hey again, so how can we stop a war? Now, sadly there are a lot of wars going on, abuse happening, and overall chaos, so how can we stop it? Well, the only way to stop a war is to forgive and let go. There's no any other way. A lot of people try to stop a war sometimes by removing anger through more anger. There's a nice verse taught by the Buddha. The Buddha said, "The anger is never appeased by anger." That is, you cannot stop anger through more anger. If you need to stop anger, hatred, and war, you need to stop the anger, and you need to forgive and let go. If this channel provides value to your life, please subscribe. You know, anger and hate work like a cycle. Let's say one country tries to dominate another. They attack the country and kill and abuse people. What will happen? The hate and anger build in the community. To retake revenge, they get into an army, invade, and kill again. Then the hate builds in this world again. This works like a cycle, and you will never get out if you don't choose to forgive. People think you can end a war through war, but it's not working. You may be suppressing a war, keeping a country under control for 10 or 15 years, but people who need to take revenge will come and attack. Look at history. Not a single country has ever been benefited through war. You can build the destructed buildings and friendships, but you cannot give life back to people. Now please subscribe to this channel. War is not a good thing. Somehow, if we need to stop it, we need to forgive and let go even though it is difficult. I know forgiving is not easy, but if we need everyone to be happy, we have to let go. You will never be able to remove hate or anger through more anger. By non-anger itself, you can remove the anger and be happy. Namadhaya Namuda. One more quick topic: what are the threefold practices of Buddhism? Hello, in this video we are going to take a look at the threefold practices in Buddhism. No matter how you are approaching the Buddhist teachings, these are the three practices you need to practice. Before understanding these practices, we have to understand why we should practice these things. What is the goal and what is the ultimate goal of Buddhist teachings? Now the ultimate goal of all the Buddhist teachings is to liberate your mind from unsatisfactoriness and all the suffering in life. So Buddha realized that to achieve this state, you need to make some conditions and you have to practice your mind. Therefore, Buddha introduced the three practices to practice in our practical life to enlighten our mind. So, without any further ado, let's dive into these practices. If you are learning on this channel, please subscribe. The first practice in Buddhism is called Sila. Sila means moral and ethical conduct, being disciplined from your body and from your words. Once you practice Sila, you can be disciplined from your body and from your words. Now Buddha understood that when we are living with people, the way we behave right, the actions that we do from our body and the words that we speak will impact the lives of other people as well as us. Therefore, Buddha said, purify your conduct, heart, and do wholesome things from your body and from your words. So Sila helps you to practice the verbal and the physical conduct in a moral and a more ethical and wholesome way. If you are enjoying what you are learning, please subscribe to this channel. In Sila, we have precepts basically for lay people like you who have 5 precepts that you can protect. The first one is abstaining from killing beings. The Buddha says stay away from killing beings. Once you protect that, you become disciplined from your body. Abstaining from stealing, do not take others' possessions without their permission. The Buddha said stay away from sexual misconduct. Also the Buddha said stay away from lying. Be disciplined from your words. Do not break the trust of others from your words. Finally, Buddha says stay away from intoxicating your body. Do not use intoxicants and other drugs. So Buddha introduced the 5 precepts to protect in your life. When you observe and protect these 5 precepts, you become disciplined from your body. Sila helps you to live a disciplined life. We should live a disciplined life to stay away from regrets, because if you engage in these things, you will have a lot of regrets in your life. That is why Buddha says stay away from these 5 things, and you will live a regretless life. Moving on to the second practice, we have Samadhi, which can be translated as concentration or mental peacefulness inside your mind. Samadhi is supported by the first practice, Sila. The Buddha said, when you practice Sila, you will have no regrets in your mind. Once you have no regrets, it will lead to mental happiness. That is why Samadhi is supported by Sila. Before going further, please subscribe to this channel. Now why we need Samadhi? We need Samadhi to think clearly, because when your mind is busy and scattered, it is very difficult to think clearly. Thinking clearly and thinking freely is a great benefit to understand the reality of your life. Buddha introduced many meditations for practicing Samadhi. Samatha meditation helps you to condense your mind and find peacefulness inside your mind. It includes loving-kindness meditations, breathing meditations, mindfulness meditations, and all those meditations will help you to achieve a peaceful and a calm life. Remember, to achieve this, you have to focus on living a virtuous life. Let's move on to the third and final practice, wisdom or panna in Buddhism. So many people think that knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge is a part of wisdom, but it is not the wisdom. Buddha explains that you must achieve wisdom from 3 means, from 3 types of wisdom. The first is Suddhamaya panna. Suddhamaya panna means the wisdom that is gained through learning. The second is Chintamaya panna, the wisdom that is gained by wisely reflecting. Lastly, the third type of wisdom is Bhavana panna, the wisdom that is gained by practicing. Now, the wisdom that is gained by practicing is supported by all those 2 wisdoms, Chintamaya panna and Suddhamaya panna. If you are benefiting from this content, please subscribe to this channel. Buddha says when you learn and wisely reflect on it, then you can apply it to your practical life by doing meditations, and that is how you practice the wisdom. Basically, Sila gives you the ethical and wholesome bodily and verbal conduct. Samadhi will help you to develop a concentrated and a calmer mind. Panna gives you a deeper and a wiser understanding of the reality. Your life will be focused on liberation, and your mind will be well prepared for the liberation. These are the 3 main practices in Buddhism. Try to practice these things and apply them to your practical life. Wish you all happy and a peaceful life. Namodaya. To conclude today's discussion, I encourage everyone to make conscious choices that promote peace, forgiveness, and compassion in your lives. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Wisdom and Wealth for more insights on living a meaningful life.